Meryl Streep is an American actress. She came into great fame when she featured in the movie The Devil Wears Prada in 2006. She was 56 years old at the time. The movie was centered around the fashion industry and the false notion that you have to be mean and cruel to survive in the fashion industry. The movie did really, really well. And Meryl Streep played a very vital role in the movie at age 56. Now, in 2026, the part 2 of The Devil Wears Prada is coming to cinemas on the 1st of May. And Meryl Streep features in the part 2 at age 76. I recently watched an interview where she said that when she was called for part 1, when she was 56, she was about to retire. I mean, who retires at 56? And if she had retired then, can you imagine all of the impact that she wouldn't have been able to make? 20 years later, her name is still being called. Her name is known everywhere. Her fame has gone far and wide. Meryl Streep is associated with the movie The Devil Wears Prada. She's associated with fashion. And this is at age 76. I'm looking forward to going to see the movie The Devil Wears Prada in the cinema. And if I get to see the movie before this video drops, I will definitely put a clip of me going to the cinema to watch the movie at the end of this video. The story of Meryl Streep and the interview that I watched of her talking about her getting this role made me think of some of the conversation I've heard people make around retiring. I've heard people talk about, I can't wait to be 50 or to be 60 so that I can retire and do nothing, so that I can retire and sleep and wake up. Personally, for me, to be honest, I am not looking forward to just sleeping and waking up. I know my husband always tells me that I'm restless. Yes, but I just feel like doing something keeps you alive. That's what actually keeps you here. Getting up to do something. Living life for a purpose. That is what I think. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Inspired Abby here. If you're seeing my face for the first time, this is Inspired Abby. Please do subscribe to this channel. Take some time to look at the other videos as well. Thank you for stopping by. You're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's good to have you again. So let's go back into the video.
Everywhere I go, beauty finds its way in the little things of every day.
This also made me start thinking about ageism, how we think of age, especially amongst Black people and especially among Nigerians. There is a lot of ageism. Now, I am not saying you should do hard work into your old age. There is a time for you to slow down, but I don't think you should just do nothing, because every time we get on earth is a gift. It's a gift that should be used for something. So I personally think that every minute you get, you should be spending it doing something. As long as your body still functions well, as long as your body and your mind and your brain still functions, I see no reason why you should stop and do nothing. I see no reason why you should just sleep and wake up and do nothing. All in the name of, I've worked so hard, so now I'm just going to retire, sit down and do absolutely nothing. I know I hear people talk about, I'm going to work hard now and then I'll invest in something that is going to do the work for me while I sleep. But I don't think you should just sleep anyway. Even though your money is doing the work for you, I think you should also be doing something. Move your body, use your mind, and use your brain. Any holidays, I'm not going to spend any money now. I'm just going to work, so that when I'm 50 or when I'm 60, I'll just retire and then I can do all of those things that I couldn't do. No, the first thing I will say to them is this: did you write the number of your years yourself? How many years do you know that has been written for you? So whatever you want to enjoy it now when you have the time to enjoy it. Enjoy it while you have the opportunity to enjoy it. We all pray that we will live long, and we will live long in Jesus' name. But every time you get is a gift. If you have something that you really want to do, you really want to enjoy, go ahead and enjoy it. I'm not saying you shouldn't work, but just create the balance as well. At the end of the day, even when you retire, that thing that you've always wanted to enjoy after you're retired, you might not be able to do it anymore for one or two other reasons. Or that thing might not even be enjoyable anymore as at that time. So now that you can enjoy it, enjoy it. Secondly, even if God gives you very, very long life, which is what we all pray for, let's say that God gives you 90 years or 80 years and you've retired at 50 to do nothing. That means 30 to 40 years of doing absolutely nothing. Isn't that really a waste? Can you imagine how much impact you can make in that extra 30 or 40 years? Do you know how much legacy you can still build in that time? I love the fact that in the UK, you don't have to retire compulsorily. You can take your retirement package and come back, sign a new contract, and then continue to work. As long as you've got the strength to work, you can work for as long as you want to. Nobody forces you into retirement. I think Nigeria needs to start doing something like this. There are a lot of people who have been forced into retirement at 60, 65, 70, and they are still very strong and agile. They've got really sound brain, really great ideas. They can still make impact. They can still help to build that company that they work for. They can still bring so many ideas. They can still contribute. Young people can still look up to them and learn from their experiences. But what do? We just silence them into retirement. Go sit at home. You've worked enough. But what if they still want to contribute? What if that person is still willing to do something? At the end of the day, they don't even get good packages. They get little or no retirement packages. So for people who have made no investment, they only have their children to rely on. And that's if their children are already settled themselves. So you see, what if you allow them to just keep working, keep earning money? You can make sure that the work is more suitable for them. They can slow down, work less days, work less hours, do just a little bit here and there, but they can still get something out of it and they can still give something back into the society. Some of the smartest people I know are people in their 60s and 70s. Yes, I've worked with quite a number of them. They're very smart. They are thorough. They've got a lot of experience to share with you. They can teach you the old tricks, all the oldest tricks in the books. So why do we silence them into retirement and tell them to do nothing? I'm going to use my parents as examples. So my dad is in his 80s and he still gets involved in community work, meetings, trying to build the community, meetings with government agencies, things that can help the community. And I'm happy that he does this because it keeps him alive. He can use his brain. He can talk to other people about developing the community. He can bring ideas of old experiences what he experienced when he was younger. He can bring all of these experiences to the table. You know, he will attend these meetings and he will even do some accounting books for them, even though he's not an accountant. But all of these things keep him going. It keeps his body going. It keeps his mind going because he has something to look forward to every day. He has one or two meetings to look forward every day when he wakes up, which I like. And I try not to stop him from doing it. Only when he's ill. When he's ill and he wants to go out for those meetings, I definitely tell him, you need to stop and rest and recover. But when he's all right, yes, he can go out and do all the community work and all the work in the church and help the young people around him. My mom is in her 70s. She retired as a school principal. Now she consults for some schools. They call her every now and then to ask for her advice on certain matters in relation to running schools. It keeps her brain going. She also has a small store where she sells soft drinks. I would say she sells in inverted commas because my mom is a giver. So I am definitely sure that she gives most of those drinks out to people. But the fact that she wakes up every day to open up the shop, sit there, talk to people, attend to people, engage with people, it keeps her going. When we work, we are prolonging our lives. Work should not always be looked at from the perspective of something bad or something evil or as if it's a punishment. I know there is hard work and there is soft work, and we all definitely want the soft work. So the older you get, you don't have to stop, but you can slow down. You can still do something. Even if you don't need the money that comes from all of these other work or ventures that you'll be doing after your retirement, do it anyway. You can give the money out to charity or to the community, but get up and do something. Get up and have something that you look forward to doing. To us children who have parents in their 70s and in their 80s, let's be careful not to make our parents weaker. Allow them to do things themselves. Don't say, no, just sit down at home, do nothing. I have all the money now, so all you have to do is sleep and wake up. No, allow them to do one or two other things. So I'll give a few examples. If you have a building project or you have a project you're running, you can tell them to help you to get suppliers. That way, they are engaging their brain, they are talking to people, they are contacting people. Give them assignments. This is what I mean. Give them tasks to do for you. Set up charities for them so that they can impact the community around them. Tell them to go think of an idea for a charity. Help them to do something that engages their brain. Open up a small store for them so that they go there and come back every day. Even though they don't need that money for anything, allow them to do one or two things by themselves. You are making them stronger. You are making their mind and their body stronger this way. If you have a parent that is in their 70s or 80s and they can still walk by themselves, why are you holding their hand? You don't have to hold their hand if they can still walk by themselves. As long as they are not falling over or tripping over, yes, they will walk slowly, but allow them to take those steps themselves. Let them walk. You don't have to hold their hand. I'm going to give you an example of something I experienced recently. So I was sitting in Specsavers. I went for my eye test. This lady came with her mom. She brought her mom for her mom's eye test. Her mom is elderly. She'll probably be in her 70s or 80s. She had a walking stick with her. So when when the older lady was called by the optician, she stood up. She still had her cane in her hand she stood up herself and she started to make movements towards the person that called her. I, who was watching them on the other side, I almost got up to grab the old lady, but I saw her daughter sat down there calmly, just watching her mom. She wasn't falling over, so why should she rush to get her? She was watching her, ready to grab her if anything happens, but she didn't aid her to stand up. So I thought about it. I was like, that's a good thing. Allow her to stand up. Allow her to exercise the muscles that takes her to stand up. She has a walking cane anyway, so she can balance with that. She made sure she was in a good distance. And I've noticed that many times in this country with Caucasians, when you see them in shops, if the older woman, maybe the mom, is carrying bags, the younger ones will allow her to carry it as long as she has the energy to carry it. Only if she asks for help, then they will lift it for her. Or if they see that she's struggling, they will watch and see that she's okay. If she needs the help, they will offer the help. But they won't say, oh, you're too old to carry anything. No, because that's how they exercise their muscles. It's in all of those little movements. If you are retired and in your 60s and 70s and you stumble on my video today, think about those things that you've always wanted to do when you were younger. Those things that make you happy. Do you want to go back into one or two of those things? Do you want to see one or two ways that you can maybe still do some of those things? It might not be in the same scale as you would have wanted to do them when you were younger, or you can still do one or two of those things just to make yourself happy, something for you to wake up to look forward to. Another idea is, why not gather other retired people around you together? Start a club. Have meetings every month, once a month or something. Start a community project or a charity together. Raise funds and help young people around you. Or you can do talks where you talk to younger people about some of your experiences when you were younger. What you don't know is that a lot of young people yearn to hear the experiences of older people, to learn from older people. But what are older people doing? They're locking themselves up. I'm too old for this world. I'm too old for all of these things. I'm just going to stay and sleep and wake up. Meanwhile, the younger people really, really want to learn from you. So why not start something where you talk to younger people? If you are retired in a particular profession, so for example, in teaching, why not coach young teachers on how teaching was a passion for you when you were younger and some of those experiences? Share those experiences. It might go a long way in impacting somebody's life. Also, let me mention that every time you spend is an impact on someone. Every time you spend doing something impacts someone in one way or the other. Whether you're going back to work as a consultant or you're doing community projects, every of those times is an impact in somebody's life, because somebody will say, oh, that woman taught me how to do this or do that. That woman showed me how to make this. Oh, that woman shared her experience about this subject and I learned from it. Imagine if you just kept all of that and just sat in one place and you don't share it to the younger people. Do you even know that many young people don't know very much about Nigeria's history? That's because the older people are not saying anything. They're staying far away from young people. Why are we doing that? Now, when talking about this, I'm sure some people will say, oh, okay, maybe she's talking about church activities, people getting involved in church activities. I'm not talking about spending all of your time in church. The church is not where the work on the community stops. Okay, there's more work to be done out there. outside of the walls of the church. So get out of the walls of the church and do something else. The good thing is that the internet is now almost free. So if you're an older person and you feel like you have a lot of knowledge and experience to pass and wisdom to pass, put on the camera and record a video. Put some words of advice in that video. Give it to someone and tell them to help you share with other people. You can never know whose life is going to be touched by it. All in all, we need to start looking at retirement with a different focus and light. You might retire from the hard work that you're doing if you're doing a work that is hectic, but please do not retire from doing things, even when you retire. Don't sit back and do absolutely nothing. For younger people, please don't look forward to doing absolutely nothing. Every day you get is a gift. There are so many people who never got the opportunity to live till 50. So if you get the opportunity to go beyond 50, beyond 60, you have a very big gift on your hands. Use every day like it matters. You might no longer be at the forefront like you used to be, but don't send yourself all the way to the back. Make sure that your presence is still felt and your impact is still known. All this came from me being inspired by Meryl Streep being an actor still at the age of 76 and featuring in a movie that is going to be shown all over the world, in cinemas all over the world. She's such an inspiration. She's still a fashion icon, great actress, still doing wonderful things at the age of 76. I know you would say that acting, allows people to do things even into their old age. So acting is not a job you actually retire from. You can do it at any age. They just need to give you the right role for your age. But let's talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to use Patience Ozokwo as an example. Most of us Nigerians will know Patience Ozokwo. I think she will be in her 70s, most likely now. Wonderful actress. She's been acting for so many years. We've seen her on the screen from when we were young. Now, most of the roles she gets are wicked mother-in-law, some old woman in the village, just an old woman who is, who is just sitting there, or she might just be somebody's mom who is older. Why do we not get to see Patience Ozokwo as a successful entrepreneur who has built her business from maybe her 40s and she's now in her 70s or 80s and she's enjoying her wealth that she worked for? Why don't we see her in that type of role? Why don't we just see old people as normal people? That's what I'm trying to say. Why are they not just normal people rather than just some old people just because they are now old? Why can't I see Patience Ozokwo in a role where she's in an office, sat behind the desk, talking to her PA about some contracts? She might still be in her 70s or 80s, but she might still be signing contracts and signing deals. And in the real world, there are people who are still doing that well into their 70s and 80s, and they still have their family and their grandchildren that they spend time with. Why don't we see older people in those roles that are just normal, everyday people? We need to normalize people getting older. We need to normalize old age. It's a good thing. It's a happy thing that you get to spend more years on the surface of the earth. You are as normal as every other person. All those dreams that you've kept away, bring them out as long as you're still able to do them. Share those experiences. Make sure you write a story about yourself before you leave the earth. Write something. about yourself that other people can read to remember you by. I hope this makes sense to somebody. I hope somebody has been able to pick one or two things from everything I said. All of this just came to my mind this afternoon, and I took a pen and paper and just scribbled and scribbled and scribbled, and I decided to do this video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about ageism and how we think about old age, especially amongst Black people and especially amongst us Nigerians. Leave everything in the comment section and I will definitely reply to everything. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you and bye. Before I go, as you know, I always like to tell you what I am wearing. This is the Arike scarf, and I've styled it in a different way. This time I've got my husband's hat and I put the Arike scarf on top of it, so you can style the Arike scarf this way as well. Got a silver necklace and just a t-shirt that I've had. Yeah, so this is the look for today. Do you like? Do you like? Okay, bye bye.